In the last year, I've gotten worse looking. I got a lot more chubby, but I've improved my social life massively. There's important things that I've learned, and I'm not naturally social, I promise you. So I'm going to teach you these things in this video. The first thing is like, why would you even want to be social? I mean, I remember the first time after I had a year of boarding school where no one really liked me. I really had a tough time. And then at the end of that year, I came back to Hong Kong, and all of a sudden, people were so nice to me. I was invited to so many things. I'd built this friend group and I'd been quite social, but like now it was all fucking coming together when I was on holiday and I had these opportunities to meet a lot of people. There was a lot of girls really into me. Like, there was one girl who was so obsessed with me, she didn't even care if I was like getting with other girls. And she like literally came hours to come see me. And after I had all these experiences of being around friends I really liked, being invited to so many things, I had a massive 200-person beach party. After that, and also having these girls like really into me, having like quite a lot of like success dating wise, I was never the same, bro. I remember, okay, this is fast forward a year. I had a similar holiday, and this time I spent a month of that holiday in Australia, and I started school with a girlfriend and a super close friend that I got like that I'd spent time getting to know over the holiday. And when I first started school, because I also had my other really good friend, I was loving it, bro. Even though I'd hated the last 2 years of school, all of a sudden, yeah, on the weekend, on like the Valentine's Day, which was second week of school, I went out to hang out with my girl. I was I was having a great time. And that was like a really unique experience for me. Because I'd always hated, being locked in and working hard in these periods. But then I realized like it's not even bad, I wake up, I fucking study all day, I finish school, I go to the gym, I eat dinner with my friends and have a great laugh, and I hang out with them for a couple hours, and then I go to sleep and do it all over again, and then I get to hang out with my friends on the weekend, and I get to hang out with my girl. And the thing is, bro, you're always gonna want a girlfriend, and you're always gonna want to have like male friends be part of a group. And the thing is, it will silently affect your life if you pretend, nah, I don't want it. The thing is, it will always affect you. Have you ever been really locked in, but one day you just get like super horny? This is just a funny example. Then all of a sudden, a lot of people will just get distracted by websites like Corn. They'll like all day they'll just be thinking about girls. This is gonna be in your mind anyways. Like for example with girls, I'm talking also about like male friends, but specifically for girls, because I just think that guys end up like the best example of this is guys like you know like go to their fucking bedroom and like you know what I mean? They waste time on this anyways. So you might as well put time towards like meeting a good quality girl. And the best way to do that is actually to make good friends. And so like it all comes together. I'm telling you, your life will fucking change when you become more social. I'm gonna teach you how you can do that. The first thing that has helped me so much becoming more social, building this personality where people can't help but like you, is okay. For example, I was in the boxing gym a few days ago, and I don't know these guys that well. This is literally my third time going to this specific boxing gym, and this guy was saying like, "Oh, yo, like that car was hot from Cars," and he was joking, right? And I was like, "Bro, what is this guy? Is this guy car sexual or something?" And it wasn't like the words had popped up in my mind. I literally like I known what my joke was. It was like naturally what I wanted to say, and for a second I hesitated, but I was like, "No, no, no, just say it," because the jokes are the things that you want to say that you hold in are usually the things that you should say. And so I said it, and they fucking cracked up. They laughed the shit ton. I mean, I don't even know them that well, and they like obviously it's just a fucking joke. But the point is, the story is when you keep saying the things that genuinely pop up in your mind, and you keep saying something, then all of a sudden you start to have these great conversations, and you show your like true personality, and you can find people who are very similar to you. At the start of doing this, you're probably gonna say some dumb shit, and I get why you would be scared of doing that. But the thing is, when you say some dumb shit, the thing that is will surprise you. I probably say a lot more dumb shit than you, but I also say way more good shit than you too. You're never gonna be able to. This is a quote that stuck with me for a long time. You're never gonna be able to be an amazingly positive influence to some people without being an utter embarrassment and cringe to other people. So sometimes you just gotta say everything that comes to your mind, even though some things are like, you know, it's just easier to just not say weird shit, to just not talk about like, what's an example of what not to talk about? Like, you don't just go around, if you go up and meet a new girl, right? You're not going to talk about, yeah, I fucked this girl last night. You know, just have some fucking basic social intelligence. Don't like be like disgusting. Don't be heinous in any way. And, you know, it'll, like, most of the things that you say naturally should actually be really funny if you deliver them well and you get more confident. And the thing is, every time you do this, 20 to 30 times, you go up to somebody. If you're walking past somebody, you think they're jacked. Yo, you're jacked, bro. You look good, bro. Then all of a sudden, you do this 20, 30 times, and you're in this amazing social mood. And when you get in this mood, all of a sudden, it's so easy to talk to people. Then that is when you enter this mood where you have this irresistible, like, social energy, where anywhere you go, people are really interested in speaking to you. I'm promising you this is fucking value. That's why every time before I go out, I make sure to go with my friends so that I'm more in a social mood. And then when I'm with this one specific friend and we're walking here, we see a guy, we're like, hey, nice shoes, bro. And we say these things. And every time we do this, we have a fucking amazing night. I remember this other time where I was going through a really socially awkward time at school. I was always worried about silence. And this one time I was with these two girls who are my good friends, and we were chilling at this like pier, looking in the water, and we were kind of like chatting about some shit. But then I remember, what do I remember? It's slipping my mind. Oh, I remember we were speaking, and the conversation went silent, and only because I was really close with them and really comfortable with them, I didn't care. Like I didn't care when we went silent with them. And the thing is, that really fucking shocked my mind a little because for all this time I was thinking like, oh, silence is so awkward when you silence is the end of the world. But this time that everybody went silent and then they just continued the conversation, I ended up having the best time hanging out with friends for a long time, the best conversations I've had in a long time. Just because I was chill, like, yeah, breathing, fucking not really saying anything. It's because when the conversation goes silent and you breathe fast, and you force your words. Okay, I'm reading off the slideshow. Okay, but like when the conversation goes silent and you're like and you're like fucking you're just in your mind you have that reaction and you're like oh and you say some bullshit. It always comes out blurred and ugly and you just look like a fucking clown. I'm being honest, bro. It's not the silence that's awkward. It's how you react to it. I promise you. I remember this is actually funny because I was on a night out and I didn't like this girl. I was just being like friendly and having a good chat. And you know, when we were talking, I was so tired. I had hit legs before I went out. I had nothing to say, bro. I was kind of just chilling there. I didn't even drink that night. And when she was speaking to me, I would kind of just like look her in the eyes, like, yeah, yeah, tough, tough. You know, I wouldn't like say tough, tough. And then like every now and then I would come up with something like interesting to say. And she was talking, bro. She was yapping on, like in a good way. Like I was happy to listen to her speak, but she kept having like 300,000 things to say. And I remember I just said like, yeah, nice to meet you. Have a good one. Didn't really want to hang out with her any longer. And the next day she's like, hey, it's so nice meeting you last night. I hope we can hang out again. This is not clowning on her at all, by the way. I just wasn't interested because I was already talking to somebody who I liked at that time. But the thing is, in this mood where, you know, I was basically silent the whole time, then I actually got like a girl really into me. And you should be aware, like, you don't always need to be talking. It's good to be, obviously, the guy who can talk a lot is way better than the guy who can't talk at all. Obviously, no fucking shit. But the guy who can't talk at all, if he's just fine with it, he brings himself from if he can talk. So somebody who can talk is obviously goaded. Somebody who can't talk is obviously L. But somebody who can't talk and is comfortable with it is up like way more. They're at a way higher level because they just bring that good energy. You know, you don't need to be speaking all the time to have a great chat with people, especially in a group. Then you don't need to speak the whole time. But yeah, yeah, genuinely, bro, it's not like it's so underrated to just not say much. Like it's way better than you think. No one judges you for it. They just think like you. It's more mysterious. Like people become more interested in you. Now I remember My first year at school was shit, bro. People were super rude to me. Nobody really liked me. And I was at a boarding school in Australia. And the thing is, when I came back to Hong Kong, where my parents live, where I lived, my friend, I always, like, whenever I would meet somebody, I would be so, like, weighed down by people not liking me at school that I would kind of, like, bring it up so much. I'd be like, yeah, people at school don't really like me. And I'd always end up talking about it. And then I told my friend one day, he's like, bro, do you think that they know that people at your school don't like you? And that's when I realized, like, I just don't need to say that people don't like me at my school. Or, like, it's not that they didn't even like me, bro. I mean, it was obviously exaggerated in my mind. But, like, a lot of people were really fucking rude to me and I got treated badly. But there was just no need to go around telling people that in Hong Kong, where I was getting treated well, where I had great friends and where everyone liked me. You know, opening up with your boys is different to, like, telling a lot of people something. And so I realized, yeah, these people don't even know me. And that's when I realized I can just pretend that everyone likes me when I first meet them. I remember when I introduced two friends to each other. So three of us are sitting at dinner, and it's me and these other two guys. And before this dinner, oh, sorry, they had dinner. They didn't really click well this first time. The next time we got dinner together, before they arrived, I told them that, okay, so let's call one of them S and one of them K. I told S that K said he liked him. And I told K that S said he liked him. Does that make sense? They said that I made up that they liked each other, that they had said good things about each other. They didn't say shit, but when they hung out, they got along really well. And the funniest thing, dude, this blew my mind. Because I was just trolling. I just wanted them to get along better. I didn't really care if I had lied along the process. It turned out that they fucking ended up saying that they like each other genuinely after they felt comfortable and assumed that each other had already liked each other. Then it actually became reality. And that's when I realized there's not even as much of a difference between pretending people like them, but pretending people like you, and them actually liking you. There's a lot less of a difference. You know, obviously you need to be funny and like a good bloke, but most of the time we have good shit to say. We are interesting to talk to, and pretty much every single person is, unless you have spent unless you're like a gamer, you've never done anything except video games in your whole life, and you didn't even go to school, and you meet somebody who's like a sports guy you have zero in common, then pretty much every time you truly talk about your interests, you're gonna have one like core, like similar interest or like similar opinion or a good discussion just by saying what you think, even if you disagree with somebody and you just have like one little thing in common, like gym. Oh, what's your split? You hit chess? Nice, bro. But I've been thinking about like should I have 3 sets or 4 sets, like total volume? And when you're really into something, you can talk about it forever. And when somebody else is really into something that you're into, then you have great conversations about it. So the whole point that I was making is assume people like you, and then that kind of leads to the first point where you naturally say things that are good to say just because you assume that they like you. When you're with your best friend, you can speak for hours, but when you're with like people that you just met, then it's so much harder to speak to them. And that's because you don't know if they like you. And so if you just pretend people like you, you're on the street, you just be a bit narcissistic, because it's not narcissistic if it's true. Just assume everybody likes you. And people will suddenly start to really like you. Genuinely, I mean, it's interesting because, yeah, there's people who don't like me. I'm not fucking dumb. But the thing is, I have so many people that like me, it completely offsets the people who don't like me. And the only way to get, like, the people who didn't like me already didn't like me. That's the thing I learned. When I stopped showing my personality, then all of a sudden even more people didn't like me. But when I showed my personality, some people who didn't like me, who were never gonna like me, I changed because of them. But there was no point changing because they kept treating me like shit. In fact, they treated me worse. So just go around and in your mind assume, oh, this guy likes me, and just say hi, like just be friendly. Just assume everyone likes you because they do. When you think like that, like okay, for example, one last concept with a girl, like one last really important idea. When you meet a girl and you go up to her, she's praying that you're the guy that she's been looking for. She's praying that you go up to her, you're really confident, you're really friendly, and even if you're not the kind of guy that she wants, or she has a boyfriend, she's still like hoping that when she goes out and when she dresses up, that some guy will come up to her and say, "Oh, you look really good," and she can just brush you off and make herself feel bigger because she like brushed you off make herself feel more confident about herself. But they're still hoping that there's a guy who seems confident enough, seems socially successful enough to come up to her and be polite and say like, "Oh, you're very pretty." And then if they're not interested, just leave them alone. But the thing is, but most girls are single. Like, I kind of got surprised. Like, there's not that many girls in a relationship at our age that I didn't even realize it. Like, maybe I mean I should probably Google that. Okay, don't take my word for it. But the thing is, when you go out and you're like, genuinely, bro, I know I know a friend who like I only have one other friend who goes up to a girl in public, like if they think they're really pretty. But I know for a fact that this guy has done this a few times, and there's girls who are really fucking into him. And it's happened to me. Like, there's a girl that I'll go up to, and they'll be really into me. The thing is, the best time that you're gonna like meet girls is usually when they know you know each other's friends. But when there's a girl who you think is like, wow, she's fucking stunning, and you don't go up to her, you completely sold, man. You completely sold, bro. You could have had a beautiful interaction with this person. That's all I have to say. Yeah, that's about it from me. I think I have one more slide, maybe, actually. Oh, this is value advice. This is really fucking important. This last year, last year, I went on this holiday, so I got back to Hong Kong from being at boarding school. And for the first few weeks, I was having a great time. I was getting closer with some boys that I really liked. It was fucking awesome, I can't lie to you. But my homeboy arrived from the US, and then all of a sudden, I started hanging out with this guy who I normally go to the gym with and talk about self improvement with, and I made this like little mini friend group, and we were all really fucking close. It was two of my best mates, and we were hanging out all the time. Every time we hung out, we were literally dying of laughter. I couldn't breathe. This still happens with my like a lot more friends now, but at first, I needed to go on that social holiday where, because at the start of that holiday, I was feeling really awkward. It was really hard to meet like new people. I hadn't been going out very much. I was quite insecure. But then when I was with these boys and I would go out with them so much, it got to the point that every night we would go out, there would be so many people we would meet. There would be so many girls who were interested in us. We were just like literally fucking drowning in it, like social attention. Now, no, I'm not saying this in an arrogant way. I was just saying I went out, I had a great time, and met like great people. I really liked speaking to these guys who came up to me, who I've known, who I'd met before, or if I went up to them first and we're laughing, we're having a great time. But my personality changed. And I promise you, every time you're feeling awkward, just go on like a month holiday where you're trying to go out to as many social things as possible. Obviously, you don't want to just be drunk the whole time, but like as many social venues as possible. I'm telling you, this shit is straight heat advice. Because when you go out once a week on a Saturday or once a month on a Saturday, yeah, it's fucking awesome when you're already social. For me, that's lit. I get to lock in for 2 weeks, and then I go out and I'm super social anyways. I'm ready to go in this niche. But I've been working on this for years, bro. You're not gonna be as social as me at my age. It's just not gonna fucking happen unless you've been naturally social, like unless you've been regularly socializing, meeting new people, being an interesting person for a few years now, to the point where it's like materialized in your personality, which it's just starting to materialize in my personality permanently because I finished school where I was like, I wasn't treated perfect. Like people had a lot of negative first impressions about me, but it still had material. Like the personality still materialized when I was at school. But now it's like it's going to the next level. Like now I'm starting to get a bit ahead of myself. But just go on this holiday, get some photos with your boys, make yourself look good, and trust me, put it on your Instagram because then every single new person you meet for the rest of your life, when they follow your Instagram, because that's how you meet people. Yo, what's your Instagram, bro? They see, oh, this guy looks good on his Insta, and they just, in the back of their mind, they think of you so much more highly. I promise there's no point having no photos on your Insta. That's just dumb as shit. You want to have good photos on your Insta. The last thing is, bro, I've helped a lot of people personally go from being that really antisocial guy to making great friends. You can literally get to the point where people will love your company so much. People, like, I know for a fact, this feels weird to say because I was so awkward for such a long time that people really love my company. Like, that feels like, that wasn't always the case, bro. I was ran over at school. Like, no one really fucking liked me. No one really backed me. I can say for an absolute fact my friends really love me. I fucking love them. And life's fucking great, you know? Obviously, there's gonna be hard things that happen to you, but I'm telling you, like for example, stopped talking to this girl recently who I really liked. And I know I'm sure that I'm gonna find a new girl who I really like, bro. But it's fucking put me pretty low in a mood state. But the thing is, I can go chill with my boys. I can call my boys up. I can rant. There's so many people who have my back. That is amazing, bro. I'm telling you, being out there is the best fucking thing ever when you finally have friends. And then once you have friends and you have your own goals, my friends genuinely believe in me and back me, and that is nuts to me. That like genuinely blows my mind away. And so yeah. The last thing I wanted to say is if you want to get this direct feedback from me, because think about how easy it is for me to help you. You can just say to me, like, yo, Finn, this is what happened this social event. And I'll know some things that there's no way you'd be able to figure out yourself. And I'd be like, fix that, do that differently, say this thing differently, this mindset needs to change. And all of a sudden, your entire social life will change. I promise you, I have helped other people genuinely go from a fucking crazy transformation and build their dream friend groups, completely changing their lives. If you're interested in this, click the link in the description. Subscribe, brother. You could get free fucking info from me anyways if you don't want to fucking, get in-depth help. But I don't mind, bro. Just subscribe if not, and have a great day. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. Lots of love. Take care.